What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take. Vicky, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing all right. So, Solo Leveling season two. We had the season finale a week ago. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a week ago. So, wanted to get your thoughts on the entirety of season two and the season finale.
So
You didn't watch it, did you?
I did watch the season finale. I told you I watched it. I texted you about it. Wow, Jay, you don't be paying attention to nothing.
Uh huh. Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I think the bestest was a TikTok I saw. This woman, this guy was recording his girlfriend or wife, I don't know, and she was watching it. He said that she keeps rewinding this one part at the end where he's like on to the next target and he like loosens up his tie. It was so like fan service. It was hilarious. I giggled because I was like, I'm just saying he did go from a little boy to a man. He did get cute for an animated character. Um,
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Listen, y'all get all y'all fan service in the
Hey,
live
yeah,
animes.
that's why I said I ain't saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I ain't
But
saying
um,
nothing.
so when I was watching, so wait, the season finale.
After he fought the Ant King, they finished
So wait,
filming
the
the
season
future.
finale had the fight with the ant dude was the episode before, right?
That was before, yeah. That was
Right. Yeah.
episode.
Okay. I was just make sure I didn't because like I kind of mixed the two together because like obviously it's like all one, but it's not. It was two separate. But
Yeah,
when he couldn't heal old girl and he gave her the elixir of life and
and
still
it
couldn't
still
heal
didn't
old
work. Yeah.
girl, and I was like, oh no. And then when he was like, like arise, and I was like, no, no. I was like, well, I guess you could always keep her with you. That's kind of creepy if you like make her a shadow. But he like pulled up old boy, and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, that would work, and and then he healed her. I was like, oh, it was like his final thing, and then he like smiled when he like released him, and I was like, that's so beautiful.
That was a good scene. Although I do wish they kind of would have kept it like it was in the manga, where you hear him saying use my power, use my power, I can save her," and that's why he did it. Like they cut. I don't know why they cut that part out. Of him, like him hearing him say that, because that was a good part. Because I was like, bruh,
I think,
he says that he heard a voice,
yeah,
but like,
but I think if he would have to have had the ability to hear the dead before that.
mm-hmm,
So like if he had that happen before,
it probably okay.
then it would be like more seamless. But because
They never showed that,
they never
so
showed that, you've never seen him hear a voice from something he was about to bring back.
yeah,
If they did that, then it would make more sense. If all of a sudden he hears this particular voice, well, why does he hear this voice?
yeah.
So
Well,
I think if he just had commune with the dead just a little bit more, besides
that
just pulling shadows, then I'll be like, okay, that would be reasonable.
I did like that in the season finale that they did do a good job of showing everybody pulling together because once the Ant King died and got brought back as Biru, that the ants were just going bananas. So they still had like 4 or 5 thousand ants to fight,
Yeah.
which was crazy.
I was
Um,
really hoping when he brought the Ant King back that the Ant King could control them.
well, he
Like
wasn't technically
I,
alive,
I
so
know, but like I thought that would have been cool if by having him he could control them. But I was like,
yeah,
oh, I guess that wouldn't really work. But I thought
yeah.
that would have been cool if he could.
Yeah, that would have been, but because at first that's what I thought they were gonna do, but then it's like I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead. They probably
Yeah,
can't even
it's
hear him.
technically, it's technically gone, but like,
Yeah. So and it was also cool that he could actually talk, and he was like, wait, what? You can talk? Like, yeah, I can talk. So that was actually pretty interesting, and I did like the fact that the reporter at the funeral, at the memorial, called him out. Like, yeah, if you would have left with them, this probably wouldn't have got that bad. I'm like, yeah, yeah.
But like he was retiring. He was like, I'm gonna be here to take care of my
You know, my
mom and my
mom. Yeah.
sister. Like let's be honest, from the very beginning, all he cared about was taking care of his mom and his sister. He was
Yeah.
putting his life on the line for his mom and his sister. He finally had the ability to level up,
Mm-hmm.
and he realized he could bring back his mom and take care of his sister.
Yeah.
Like that, he's never changed from that. That's
Mm-mm.
never been anything different. So in the end, he's like, nah, I don't need to go fight on some island or whatever, because I will be jeopardizing my ability to do what? Two things: take care of my mom and my sister. He ain't care about none of that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what. But I
doing
thought
this.
it was.
Thank you, Gruff. Yeah, hey, we are talking about solo leveling, so if you need to mute your ears if you have not watched.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I like the fact that he got called out on it because the excessive aura forming from like always waiting till the last minute and people getting beat half to death before he decided to show up. Like, that's why I was like, I kind of like that he got called out on, if only just for a little bit. Because of the simple fact that I'm like, bro, yeah, they probably wouldn't have got that bad because Beerus was taking heads literally left and right.
Wow.
Yes, he was going for the gusto. Overall, I liked the season. I thought they did a great job. Every episode to me kept getting better and better. I still don't understand why people were mad at the episode where he saved his mom. I'm like, that was the purpose of the whole series so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still not understanding that. But I think as far as animation, music, the visual, the way they use the camera, and the pacing of the season, I thought they did an excellent job personally.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it was just on point. Like you were never bored watching this series. Now you probably got mad at the cliffhangers, but you were never bored watching the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, some of those cliffhangers are egregious. They are egregious. Some of the cliffhangers. So if you were watching it weekly, like the people now, y'all get to binge. Y'all get to binge watch it. And I think the dub is probably gonna be done this weekend. So y'all get to binge watch it. So y'all can watch all of it back to back. Us that was watching it weekly, the like 3 or 4 of those episodes, the cliffhangers was y'all were dead wrong, Aniplex, for doing that. The way y'all did it. Just being honest. But yeah, the overall, I enjoyed it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did read that season 3 will be starting in January of next year.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's not too bad.
that's not bad at all, actually.
Comment from Gruff. Have not seen. I'm probably not ever. I'm not even going to have the time to watch. I came for the. Nah, oh, okay. Nah, Gruff. Listen, we're gonna start acting up after the anime review. Don't you worry. Hang out for a moment. We're gonna act up.
Oh, my bad. Am I interrupted?
If we gonna act up, no, we being good right now. Then we're gonna act up later. But I think I look forward to season 3. I want to see his dad, who I guess is not human anymore.
Not human. He's still human.
Well, human-esque.
Yeah, he's human-esque. He's still human.
Yeah, so you have these other creatures from other worlds.
Yeah, season 3 will be finding out more about them. And
will he ever go back to that girl?
What girl?
The girl from when he was in the tower.
Oh, Isol? I don't think so. His son does. Well, something else happens though. I can't catch myself. Something else happens. She comes back, but something else happens. But I don't think he goes back to her. She don't get to see him. We'll put it like that.
Oh.
I'll just put it like that. She doesn't get to see him, but she does come back in a way.
You know what? I started watching Zom 100. I'm really liking that.
I think I watched a little bit of that. I need to go back and see that because it kind of got cut for some reason, and then they brought the episodes back. But yeah. But yeah, she's actually a funny character, so I do kind of like her too.
Yeah,
She
but I
is
think it
fun.
just would be cool having creatures from other worlds that have the ability to like talk and not just actively kill. That's
Yeah,
all. That's all.
yeah, yeah. That's true. Because I think like next season we get to see more of the actual uh other monarchs. We actually get to see the guy pulling the strings, and we get to see more of his dad. So that's pretty good. That's what I'm interested because there's a couple fights that I'm actually interested in how they're gonna animate it. Because
Mhm.
yeah, if you liked Jinwoo versus Biru, you finna love what season three's gonna have on tap.
But that
So
Ant King fight was really good. I don't
yeah,
think we didn't have a chance to explore that and talk about it, but I really enjoyed watching it.
I mean, it took like some of the best versions of other fights I've seen, like Piccolo 17 from Dragon Ball Z, Kenpachi, not the Kenpachi fight, but Lukiora and Ichigo from Fast Lord Ichigo from Bleach. It took a lot of that and like made it their own. And the way that fight was going, especially after seeing the Ant King just like pretty much one shot decimate S ranks like they ain't nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and then him running up against somebody way more powerful than him, and everything he tried didn't work. Although I will say, if Jinwoo hadn't went through that Demon's Castle, he would got dealt with if he didn't go through that Demon's Castle first. So that's what helped him with that because Beerus was just on another level than everybody else
True.
to that point, and the fight itself was a glorified squash match, but they made it look interesting because there was a shot in there with his eye where he was about to stab him in the eye, and then he had the camera focused. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
y'all up the budget for this one. Y'all really did up the budget. So, and we talk about this at work today. I think one of the things that like makes this anime stand out is the fact that like the visuals, the music, and the pacing all hit. So you're never bored in an episode. They While it's not one to one with the manhwa, it's enough to keep you to get the full story without putting in stuff that makes it feel kind of fillery, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah,
and the other characters, like you learn them and you enjoy them. Like you enjoy his sister, his um, the quote unquote brother,
yeah,
and like you know, like all the different characters that he like meets along the way, and you're like, oh, like you kind of get invested with them. So it's not all just about him; it's also about the people around him.
yeah. So it's it's one of my favorite animes, to be fair. So, and I think they've done a good job these first two seasons. So, I'm looking forward to season three. And looking forward to finding out some more stuff. I need to finish up the manga for it, but I got to find the last two volumes, so I'll be doing that while on hiatus while we wait for season three. So, but overall, if you like anime, I think it's one of those ones you should probably check out because it is
For
very
sure.
very well done. So, yeah, that's my final thoughts on it. Your final thoughts?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. If you don't watch anime at all, this is a good one to get into. It's easy to follow. It doesn't have any like uh, weird aspects that you will only understand if you are into, you know, sci-fi, fantasy, blah blah blah. Like it doesn't have anything like that, so it's very easy to follow. So I would highly recommend it for anybody.
I will say this though, there are a couple of gory scenes in a few of the episodes. Like the very first episode, there's a lot of gore in that. So you do need to be, if you can't handle stuff like that, you do
That
need to be
show's
aware
bloody.
of that.
It gets
Yeah,
bloody.
yeah. At times it does, but there's only a few episodes that's really like that.
Yeah,
For the most part, it's your standard uh fighting
yeah,
combat anime.
that's true.
Yeah, but there are a few episodes where it does get a little gory, especially the first two episodes. The first two episodes, they set the tone real quick with the first two episodes, but they do kind of tone it down and do it
They toned
properly.
it down a lot.
Yeah,
If
but
you think about where it was, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh yeah, they toned that down a lot.
but yeah, those first two episodes of season one, yeah, it's because they have to show you how dangerous it is inside those gates. So they do a good job of setting the tone right there. So when they do go back to doing something gory, you should be okay with it.
They
I'll put it
they
like that.
desensitize you to it, so you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Wait, Jay, did you freeze? Jay, did I lose you? Jay, you there? You froze on my end. Oop. Nope. I think, did I lose him or did he lose me? Are y'all still there? I don't have any drop frames. My interweb seems to be working. Nope, Jay gone. He gone. He gone, y'all. He gone. Nope. Connection is lost. Connection is lost. Well, so what's new for everybody in the chat? You know, are you gonna have to send another invite?